Atlanta, Georgia. That's a city that pulses with history, culture, and resilience. Known as the heart of the South, Atlanta is famed for its rich civil rights legacy, booming film industry, and a vibrant arts scene. It's a place where Southern charm meets urban sophistication, drawing in people from all walks of life, from its towering, booming skyline to its beautiful parks and historic neighborhoods. Atlanta is both progressive and also deeply rooted in tradition. But for all of its beauty and progress, Atlanta holds a darker, much haunting reality. It's also a city where people vanish, leaving behind families desperate for answers. The city's sprawling expanse and busy streets often become the backdrop for chilling mysteries, with many missing people and cases remain unsolved every day. Each disappearance echoes through the city, a reminder that beneath the bright lights and vibrant life, the unknown can be settling and it can happen to anybody. Dymashal Collins is one of those people I was talking about. Collins left her Atlanta, Georgia residence to run some errands on August 28th of 2003. She was driving a friend's red 1994 Jeep Grand Cherokee with the license plate number 11HE9. Again, 11 Hotel Echo 9. She was last seen at 11:52 that day near the 600 block of Maryland Avenue in Atlanta. Her mother spoke to her at about 7 p.m. that evening, and her ex-husband called her and spoke to her at about 11:32. He said she told him that she had just dropped off a friend and would be home shortly. Since that call to her ex-husband, she has not been seen or heard from since, and her phone was turned off. 3 weeks later, the vehicle she was driving around in was abandoned at an apartment complex near the 3500 block of Clubhouse Drive East in Decatur, Georgia. There was red dirt on the driver's side of the car, and Collins' purse and a blood-stained blanket were left inside. The person who found the car found Collins' identification on the ground and mailed it back to her house. That man was later interviewed by the police and he was cleared as a suspect. Collins has 5 children, including twins, and she was employed as a real estate loan officer at the time of her disappearance. She was married in 1999, but later separated from her husband. But he moved back in with her the same month she vanished. They were in the process of reconciling, but Collins at the time was dating another man. Her case to this day remains unsolved. Collins would today be 53 years old. She is a black female, 5'6", about 125 pounds. Now, at the time of her disappearance, she was wearing a brown short sleeve sweater, a blue denim skirt, and blue denim sandals. She has black hair and brown eyes. Her hair was colored light brown at the time. She has a tattoo on the right side of her neck of a dove and of a rose with the name Dee Dee written under it. Collins has pierced ears and one more tattoo of a rose on her right shoulder blade. Her nickname is Dee Dee, sometimes spelled Dede. If you have any information about her, anything, please call the Atlanta Police Department at 404-853-4235. Again, 404-853-4235. Let's try to get her family a little bit of closure. And thank you. Not all missing person cases are resolved the way we wish they would be. Meaning after a few days, maybe a week or a year or 2 years, the person you love comes back to you alive and healthy. But sometimes, as the years go by, The family understands maybe they won't come back at all, but at least let us find the body so we can properly bury our loved ones. This is a case of Cynthia Alonzo. She went missing on November 24th of 2004 after her and her boyfriend Eric Mora were last seen getting into a car together in West Oakland. They were going to go to her mother's house for Thanksgiving. After her disappearance, the police eventually charged Mora in her death, and he was convicted of second-degree murder in March 2012 and given a 15-year sentence. After rejecting a proposed deal where he would plead guilty to voluntary manslaughter and show them where Alonzo's remains were, he was convicted of second-degree murder in 2012. The conviction, though, in 2016 was overturned, and he was granted a second trial. In the summer of 2017, he confessed to killing Alonzo and pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter in her case. He said he buried her body in the general vicinity of 7th and Maritime Streets in West Oakland. But after multiple digs, there turned up nothing. He was given 11 years in prison as punishment. In May of 2022, 8 years after Mora's conviction and almost 18 years after Alonzo's disappearance, a work crew found her remains. Her body had been wrapped up in tarps and dumped at the Oakland Army Base. As I said at the beginning of this video, we do wish all missing people would come home. In this case, she is coming home. No longer among the living, but she's coming home, and her family has finally taken care of her and put her in a proper place so she can rest in peace.